Hi there, it's Melanie Folks-Mayers from Eden Mays HR Consulting to keep you out of trouble and delivering your passion. So here I am again, talking to you this week about motivating your team. So I have spoken to you about the ways that you can help to motivate your team. So I spoke about giving back, so how to give back to the community, how to give back to charity, how to do some things that are making a difference to the wider environment, the wider universe, as one good thing, as a way to motivate your staff. And then I talked about team building, and in particular I talked about how to use sort of psychometric team building type tests to help you work out who has what personality and to give them a common language to use in order to get over any conflicts and to enable people to understand each other better and to have better relationships, because then they won't take things personally, but they'll see it's that communication. So everybody will know that they need to communicate with a person of a different personality type slightly differently, and so that will help to give your organisation kind of a uniformed way of being and a way of speaking. Today I want to talk to you about recognition. So obviously it goes without saying that you go and you have amazing staff, you have invested in, obviously you've recruited them, so you invest in paying them a salary and pension and benefits, and perhaps you might be doing you might be supporting their studies and other things like that. But there are other things, tangible things that people like. So I know that there are people for whom recognition is a really big thing, even more than the remuneration they receive, is feeling valued, feeling appreciated. And so it's really important to work that into the way that you do things within your organisation. So I want to talk to you about a few things that you can do. So number one, let's talk about the big one, well, kind of the biggest, maybe financial one, is a bonus. So if you look at larger organisations, like John Lewis Partnership, for example, their staff are called partners. They all have kind of shares in the company. It works as like a trust, and so a percentage of the profits of the business is shared among the colleagues. It means that they are much more, their customer service is amazing. So I am in no way sponsored, but John Lewis is definitely by far my favourite place to shop. And friends laugh at me because I can literally drive my car and park outside our local John Lewis, as in out in the car park, but outside the entrance to it, and I can literally go and do every floor on that store and then come back in, put the bags in my car and go off and not have touched any of the shopping mall whatsoever. Because as far as I'm concerned, they have everything that I need. I can find stuff for me, for my children, for my house, for the business, for the office, everything's in there, and I can just go and do it in one hit. But the reason why I like it is because the staff are good, they're very knowledgeable, their customer service is amazing, they're very helpful, and so for me that's like a great place to be. But I know that the staff, because I know people who work for them, feel a great sense of ownership because, well, they own it, they're employee owners. So so while you may not be able to give your staff some shares in your company, although some people do, what you can do is share that profit. So there is around having a bonus that's based, and again I've spoken previously about setting really great objectives that are tangible, etc. But there is that point where you might look at quarterly or half yearly or once a year that there's a bonus that is paid out based on the companies hit their targets, and so there's a specific bonus pot. And then that's separated down to, okay, these are your objectives, so you've achieved all of them, and that might mean you get 100%, you achieve half of them, that might mean you get 50%, you achieve none of them, or only one or two, you might not get anything. But again, that's an incentive for good work and for good customer service, so that's always a good way of doing things. And one of the things that I always say to wherever I am, and everybody asks me about pay increments, is I always say pay increments are for taking on additional responsibility, and your bonus is for you doing your job well and performing well and performing to a high standard. So if you want to earn a greater salary, then the thing you should look to promotion, look to taking on more responsibility and having a bigger or a higher role. So that's just a little tip for you for next time someone asks you for a salary increase. So that was one thing. So that was bonuses. Excuse me, my notes are here. The other thing to think about are sort of prizes. So that is, I know, for example, in a sales environment, it might be that the top seller gets, I don't know, an iPad, or might get a voucher, an Amazon voucher, or I'm going to say John Lewis, but I don't want to talk about them too much, but a voucher for a high street shop or whatever. So they can do something like that. But there are also other things. So I know, organisations who have, clients in the hospitality sector, and their staff may get tickets to Ascot, for example, and things like that. So it might be like, a voucher to do something fun. Car driving would be a good one for me. A bit of rally driving or something like that. So something that they would enjoy, and those kind of things would also be done as a team project. So it might be that a particular team's done really well, and then they all go bowling or paintballing or something. So it's something that's not work related at all, but it's something fun that they can do. It doesn't necessarily involve alcohol, and so it's something that that they can do as a team together. So that's another thing. So I've worked in places where they've got like Employee of the Year, and they might get a prize. We've got Unsung Hero, and they will get the prize, a gift. And then they might have Team of the Year, and then the team will get something that they get to do as a team. So that's a really good idea to recognise not just individuals but recognise teams. We've got the other type of things like Employee of the Month, and then they get their picture on a lock frame, and maybe they might get an additional day's leave or something good like that. So you could always look at something like that that's not costing you anything as such. And then there are taking time to say thank you, but to do it in a bigger way. So for example, I've worked with organisations where they have like a monthly email that goes out with kind of news around the business, but in that they have they have people who've joined the business, and they also have people who've done well. So they want to, so someone's done something amazing, and it might be something they've done amazing in their job, or it might have been they ran a marathon and raised 10 grand or something. But again, that is recognised, and it's public, because I think for a lot of people, public recognition is really important. So think about those things. Think about how you can recognise your staff. It doesn't necessarily have to cost you a huge amount of money, but everybody likes to be recognised. Everybody likes to be appreciated for the work they do, and when you do that, it really does aid the motivation of your team. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you want to see more of these kind of things, please make sure that you like and you subscribe to our channel. Please comment below if you've got any thoughts or you've got any questions. We will be checking, and definitely do share us. If there are other colleagues of yours that you think that would find this really interesting and useful, definitely do share it with them too. So I will be back to share some more tips, but for now, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.